Coming up next on the Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast, we're going to discuss respect. Is it given or is it earned? Be back in a moment.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Welcome back to the Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast with your host,
Tanya and Herm.
Right.
I didn't agree to that subject, by the way.
Hey, that's why I asked you before we started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you want to be quiet?
No. I'm not going to ever be quiet.
All right, then. So, you didn't say anything.
I got lots to talk about, though.
Okay. Well, we'll add all that stuff, and we never stay on one subject anyway. So, I was speaking with somebody one day.
Who?
A friend of mine. A client, really, kind of.
Who?
Does that even matter?
Yeah, was it a man or a woman?
Both.
You were speaking to a man and a woman?
Yeah.
All right.
It's about the same subject. And it was just funny how their views differed. And they were talking about whether respect should be given first, which I fall under. I think it should be given first, and then if they show that it's not warranted, then I don't have to give it to you. But
do you
one thought
feel
that it
as
should be
if-
earned, but I was like, it should be earned. So
Do you feel as if not respecting someone is not who you are? Like, do you proceed with always respecting someone? And
that's how I
even
start.
Okay, you want to turn your little thing down?
I don't know where my phone is.
No, you don't have to. You just push it right here, right?
I guess. Yeah.
I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. But yeah, that's how I always. I start out giving it, and if not, then I can always take it away. It doesn't matter. But when
What does
when
that
she
look
told
like
me,
when you take it away? Are you cussing them out, or are you just ignoring
I
them?
don't have to. Yeah, I don't have to be bothered with you, and you try to speak with me about it. I don't have nothing to say about it. I'm just not going to give you the time of day.
That's
for
how
the
I
most
feel.
part. Yeah.
If someone shows me who they are
Right.
and they're disrespectful, then
Yeah, it's nothing for me to be.
it just
be
depends,
bothered.
because if you have that conversation with them and you've told them that they're being disrespectful, or they're not being respectful to you in their language or their approach, then you just get one or two times maybe.
Yeah, I'm not even going to really do the second one. Like, if it really, especially depends on how bad. I mean, if it's like a small thing, then yeah, conversation. But if it's something major, that's just who you are, and I'm not dealing with you.
Right.
Now, if it's a situation where I work with the person, then they're still going to know that there's no respect there. But we got to work together.
Right. I'm in several women's organizations, and women are a little difficult to work with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not only in women's organizations, but I sit on the board of ed, and sometimes you have to kind of check someone because people will try you.
Yeah.
And you can check them nicely, and most oftentimes they won't do it again.
Yeah. For the most part, when they see that you're not playing around, I don't deal with that, and they know not to do it to you next time. But the question I had for the person who said it has to be earned, how do you go about that when you don't know the person? Like, if you're in a room, if you don't know who the person is, how do they earn respect?
I don't know. I don't know what that means when you have to earn respect.
Yeah, see, I
treat everyone with respect.
It just caught me. That one kind of caught me off guard. I think you have to earn it. I was like, how do you do that? Like, if you're with somebody, even like for instance, you're with somebody over time, and I've seen in situations where a person could lose respect for the other. Why you cutting the heads off? I'm tall.
Your head, well, don't go like this.
I gotta sit up some. But
it was too much ceiling.
Okay, and it was damn, now I done lost my train of thought.
That was fast.
Yeah, no.
Guess it wasn't important.
No, it wasn't that. It was just I started talking about this best you was doing.
Literally touched the computer for a second.
What did Erica say? She made in the comment. She saw a little slogan. foolishness, fibs, and something else. I
Untruths.
forgot. An untruths, yeah. Yeah, she said, I see T-shirts. I see merch. No, she said, I see merch for that. Yeah, that could be a pretty good idea. But
Well,
going
you get
back to
distracted
earning,
fast.
but going back to earning trust, and like, well, I remember what I said now. You're with someone, and over time, the person could, it seems that maybe lose respect, or they, is it?
Then you need to have that
Right,
conversation.
is
Why
it a
are
thing
you?
of, right, is it a thing of that they lost respect, or did they not have it and they just hid it for a while?
I don't know.
Uh,
But you need to have a conversation
oh, absolutely.
and say, I don't like your tone. I don't like your body posture or whatever's going on. You just have that conversation.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you definitely have to.
because I've certainly had to tell you your tone.
And I had to tell you about your tone.
I had to tell you first.
And I don't know about that because my tone is actually much calmer than yours. So I don't even know why you would even try that.
Your tone is calmer. What does that mean?
I'm at a
Just
calm
because
tone.
it's
I don't
calm,
raise
it's
my.
just-
I don't
You're raising
raise
it
my
now.
voice. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I don't raise my voice.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
do.
You don't show the anger. It's very rare. We gonna compare who does it more.
No.
Oh, okay.
Does what?
Like get excited, raise their voice more. Okay.
Just because I'm raising my voice doesn't mean that that's disrespectful.
No, we're not talking about disrespect at this point. Now we're just talking about who would be more likely. So anyway,
What does that mean?
what would be more likely to be disrespectful would be you.
It would be more likely for me to be disrespectful?
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah. So,
That's just your words, not mine.
all right, what's your words? You think it's me?
I didn't think it was anyone.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right then.
I didn't think it was anyone. What do you mean, all right then?
You don't want to start talking about somebody
You
raising
started
their
it.
voice.
You were raising your voice. You do raise your voice.
Okay. All righty.
You want me to pull up the tapes?
We got a whole lot too. We got a whole lot, and you know you do not do well with with proof of purchase.
That's not the truth. I hope everyone is staying cool out there.
Ooh, man.
I just did
That's
the
100.
8th grade moving up ceremony at the school. And right before we were walking in, the transformer blew. And they were going to postpone it till tomorrow. But we have another graduation moving up ceremony at other middle school tomorrow. So we just pushed through.
Toughed it out.
And it was hot. There were no lights beaming down like it usually does. But all those people packed into that auditorium in the high school. I'm like, I was starting to swing on the stage.
Yeah, my nephew's best friend, his graduation was today. They was having it down at NJ Pack, but it was outside.
They had it outside?
Yeah.
Because we changed our graduation to inside.
Yeah. They said they might, but when I left the house last, I saw that.
I mean, I
it
just
was
came
so
from
hot.
inside. It's not horrible. It actually felt
Yeah, but it's
better.
outside.
Yeah, I just came from outside.
Yeah.
And if it's like now, then it's not so bad. Sun is going down. It's not beating down on you. But, we had to, as a Board of Ed member, I had to shake all the little kids' hands. Public service announcement. Parents should teach their kids how to shake hands and look into someone's eyes. That is lacking. Not with everyone, but with some.
What were some of the examples that you saw today?
Let me see your hand.
Oh, okay.
Like that really
That was
hard.
the boys or the girls?
It could be either one.
Oh.
Or like this.
Too soft.
Too soft. But this is how you shake your hand.
It's
With
nice
your
firm,
right,
man.
nice
Look
and
at
firm
it.
when you look in your
Got
eye.
it.
Yeah. So that needs to be taught. I don't know if that will come when they get into high school, but at this point you 13, 14
That's
years
still
old, you should know
enough
how
you
to
should
shake
know
a
that,
hand
yeah.
and look in someone's eyes.
Yeah,
So
but
it's a little
they're not-
public service announcement. I
they're
know I
not-
have to ask my kids that. Not my older ones, but the little one.
But how many are shaking hands anymore? That's another thing, that the times have changed.
Right.
They're not even shaking hands, so that's why they don't learn.
I mean,
don't
but
shake
I've been
hands
doing this
anymore.
for 10 years, and I have to say that this wasn't the only year that this has happened.
Yeah, I thought it's been a while. So it's been a while now that they
I've been
don't touch
doing
each
this
other, no
ceremony
contact.
for multiple years. Now, of course, during the COVID years, we weren't shaking hands, we were fist bumping. But, however, it's a lost art. And, you know, if someone wants to shake your hand and you want to shake hands, you should know how to shake hands. I mean, some
Absolutely.
people...
But I'm just saying that's probably where it got lost because no
No.
one's doing it anymore.
No, because I'm like I said, when I've been on the board for 10 years now. Back
You've
then,
been on the board 10 years shaking hands, but that don't mean that these kids are shaking hands with each other when they're throughout the year.
do you think they should be taught how to shake hands?
I think they should be taught. They should go back to actually shaking hands because I don't see them shake hands. I see them do like hugs or they do all these other things, but they don't like do a regular handshake anymore. I just don't see it.
Okay. Yeah.
Man,
you're right.
I've seen teachers and they got all that together.
I mean, I've never seen that.
Oh man, I've seen plenty
That must
of videos.
be in the
No.
not happening in suburban area.
It's not happening in Scotch Plains.
No,
we
it's not.
can't count Scotch Plains as nothing because that's
not
close.
so
That's
much
not the
on
world.
Scotch Plains.
Yeah, well, it's their own little cluster.
You in Scotch Plains
like,
right now, buddy?
So what? I've been outside though. So just saying.
What does that mean?
So that means this is over.
No, that does not mean.
That means that part over. We go on to the next thing.
So, my little boy, my 16-year-old,
Okay.
played 5 games back to back this weekend. A lot of games, and you know, alternative therapies is something that I believe in. I'm happy that you also support that, and his father. So, the 23-year-old and I have done cryotherapy. So today we bought the 16-year-old. And the funny thing is, the lady's explaining, and you know, you can't really fathom how cold it is until you actually get in there. But he looked after she was explaining what to put on, what to do this, only 3 minutes. He said, well, how cold is it going to be? We got in there and found out for 3 minutes it was very cold. And they asked what music you want to put on. They put on Drake to like get him hyped up. Yeah, I would have liked Kendrick Lamar, but right?
No, not me. You might like it.
You like Drake?
No, I don't want to drink either.
Oh.
No, my go-to would have been Nas. Come on now.
Oh, right. But I mean, because Drake.
Or Rakim or something, you know.
Right, yeah.
Old school, you know.
But it was just funny how they put that on, and she asked them, and it was playing. And
Was it able to bounce it through?
no, they just kind of stood there. I was watching. I took a video and was laughing the whole time. But
You should have had the video. Well, maybe I can add the video to you.
probably not. They probably don't want anyone seeing them.
Act like a baby.
No, they weren't acting like that. They did it.
Oh, okay, then what's the problem?
I mean, I just don't think they wanted to be shown.
Okay.
But, you know, I think that's regular. It should be
That's
regular.
that's very good maintenance. Recovery. That's really, really good for recovery, especially after him playing 3, 4, 5 games, something like that. Is because I got to the point after every game I was doing ice bath, which is the cryotherapy is will be the updated replacement for ice bath, and for those that can't get an ice bath, the cryotherapy is a little bit easier to do than jumping in a vat of ice cold water, but it has the same effect. It keeps down inflammation, pain, and aids with quicker recovery. So that was something that I was big on after like every game, and it made me feel like a new person again, right after the game I can be ready to play again. That's how good it felt.
Well, after that, he felt like he wanted sleep again because he's been sleeping ever since.
Well, that's the thing. He's recovering. He's comfortable.
Yeah, but it was in Westfield. It was called, I don't even remember what it was called, but they have a whole bunch of different services. But and it isn't just for athletes in recovery. It's also good for sleeping, inflammation. So if you have, you know, anything going on that you don't know how to get rid of it, inflammation is the number one disease picker-upper in your body. You know, when there's inflammation, you'll find disease.
And they also have infrared saunas, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause we did that before as well, but
yeah. So it was kind of neat. So I'll be taking him regularly to do that.
Good. Yeah,
Yep.
very good thing. Once a week or once every couple of weeks.
Yeah, because he's
Because he's playing a lot, especially
he plays
if he plays
a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
He had 5 games, 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday.
Yep, right after the
And then it has a
last
busy
one, that
weekend.
next day,
Yeah.
jump in there. So
He did acupuncture a couple weeks ago. He didn't really care for that.
no,
And a good thing is my flexible spending covers cryotherapy, and you can get a package. So
nice.
I didn't do it today, but that's probably something I'll do.
Good.
Yep.
Anything else?
About that?
Or anything? You said you had a lot to talk about.
I always have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
What else did I want to talk about?
But you came in to something that you just ready to rock and roll with.
Oh. Maybe the next time, because I can't think of it right now.
Okay. Well, thanks you guys for joining in on another episode of the Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast with your host.
Tanya? Say in her.
Why would I do that? That's your part.
We're
If I
doing
would have
something
did it,
different.
if I would have did it, then you would have said, "Why you say my part?"
I just said Tanya, and you say and her.
Okay. So you start off doing with the first part of it.
What?
You start off doing the first part of it.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Mind, Body, and Laughter podcast with Tanya and her.
I should have just left it where it was. Thanks. And make sure you guys subscribe, comment, and actually, we didn't get a response from last week. So what I'm going to
Oh,
do,
we didn't?
because I'm going to put up a clip of just that part of it, and then we'll go from there. So see you guys next week.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.